Now representing the organization, Jim Leland and AJ Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Terzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Ring Central, voice of your business.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
There's nothing like game day in Pittsburgh. From the first pitch to the final out, it's all about the moments that bring us together. And now there's a new way to celebrate every one of them. Crack open a can of Icy Light. Clean, crisp, refreshing. A true Pittsburgh original, now with a nod to the legendary Stargell Stars. From first pitch to last call, we show up, we stand up, and we raise it up. Raise up an Icy Light for the hits, the homers, and the hometown pride. Icy Light, always a good call.
And the 23-year-old right-hander from Fullerton, California, has made his way to the pitcher's mound. Paul Skenes. Pirates are in their black jersey tops tonight. Home whites, the black caps. The Padres again in their brown unis with the pinstripes and brown helmets and caps. And last night, those Friars shut out the Pirates. Second time the Pirates were blanked to start this season. They begin the year at 6-4. Their 5-game winning streak ended last night. The Padres are 5-5, and Paul Skenes, his third start, and faces the Padres for the first time in his career. And John Wayner, imagine that the Padres are kind of anxious in a way to see what the hubbub is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've seen him pitch, but didn't get to see it firsthand with them in the batter's box. This is not an ideal night to be hitting against a guy like Paul Skenes. Not only the great velocity, but the movement of that fastball. It'll be interesting to see how much he wants to run the ball in on the hands of these hitters. It's very uncomfortable getting jammed when it's this cold, but yeah, and it's not just the fastball for Paul Skenes. Of course, he has a half dozen pitches that he can get you out with, and again, after his first start, we've talked about didn't get through an inning, only 5 his last time out. I'm guessing Paul Skenes is probably looking forward to this start. Although good start his last time, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 punch-outs in 5 innings. But you know, I think Paul Skenes wants to go a little deeper into the ball game and dominate.
Ramon Laureano is stepping into the batter's box right now, the right-hand hitting left fielder who was 1 for 5 with an 8th-inning RBI double last night. He's hitting .250 on the young season with 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. 2 players actually have faced Skenes in the World Baseball Classic during spring training, Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado for the Dominican Republic team. And a strike is called. That's 97 miles an hour. 0-1 on Laureano. Home plate umpire, Ryan Blakeney. Skenes with the 0-1 pitch. And a little bit outside, and Paul Skenes goes back to the fastball. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 41 degrees at game time. Maybe even 40. And it's dipping quickly as the sun sets. 1 ball, 1 strike, swing and a miss. It's 98 miles an hour.
I can't help but think, that with this velocity of Paul Skenes, I'm thinking you'd rather swing through a pitch than foul it off.
1-2, and this is fouled off. Back behind home plate, into the seats it goes.
And we talk about getting jammed. It's actually worse if you hit a ball off the end of the bat. Literally, your fingers will be numb until your next at bat. Wow. It doesn't go away. It'll last. When you're on defense, you're right-handed. If you're right-handed thrower, you can barely feel your fingers. Not that I've ever done that.
1-2 pitch. And that's fouled off to the left into the seats. That changeup, Laureano. So this will be the 6th pitch to the first batter of the game from Skenes. Ready to go with a 1-2. And here it comes to Laureano. There's the swing and the miss. Tied him up with the fastball. Strikeout to begin his night.
Just overpowering. Went upstairs a little bit. Had a little run to it. My goodness, not only was it up, it was well in off the plate. It almost hit Laureano in the shoulder as he was swinging.
Well, much better start for Skenes in this one. His 3rd start of the year. He walked the first 2 leadoff men he's faced this season, and he backs Tatis away with a fastball that rides in. His first start of the year on opening day, he walked Francisco Lindor. And his last time out Wednesday in Cincinnati, he walked T.J. Friedel. Here's the 1-0 offering. That misses up to Tatis, who was 0 for 4 with a walk, did score a run last night, hitting 189 for the year. No home runs, 3 ribbies. Just underway, 1 out, the pitch. Way inside, another fastball, and Tatis bounces out of the way, backpedals onto the grass outside the dirt circle. 3 balls, no strikes on Fernando Tatis. Jackson Merrill, the on-deck hitter for the Padres. Skenes, the windup, the 3-0 pitch. Strike called. Outside half. Bob Henley coaches third base for the Padres. David Macias coaches first. Craig Stammen is the rookie skipper. And the 3-1 pitch fouled off to the right, out of play, into the seats it goes. And now it's full. Following the strikeout of Laureano, he's gotten it to 3-2 on the next hitter, Tatis. He's 7 strikeouts from 400 in his career, Paul Skenes.
That's amazing to think.
Yeah, and his 58th career start.
That's pretty amazing.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Time was called. Tatis stepped out, now ready to go. Payoff pitch. Swing and a foul tip and a strikeout. 2 away with 2 strikeouts for Paul Skenes.
I like the aggressiveness just coming at him with the fastball, the hard stuff. Basically saying, hey, here it is, hit it if you can. Tatis coming up empty.
Lefty hitting Jackson Merrill at the plate. Was 1 for 4, had an RBI double plus a walk last night. That one's in on his hands, a fastball, and he fouls this back. Merrill's hitting .250. 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in, and this is the first matchup between the guy that certainly many on the West Coast thought should have been the Rookie of the Year a couple years ago, against the man who won the Rookie of the Year in 2024. This pitch taken, fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Merrill was runner-up to Paul Skenes and had a great rookie season, hitting .292 with 24 homers and drove in 90. 1 ball, 1 strike. Skenes delivers, and Merrill fouls it off. That'll be up toward club level behind the Pirates' third base dugout, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Skenes tries to strike out the first 3 batters he faces. Ahead of the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Merrill struck out 7 times in 39 at bats, and he hits this in the air toward left. And underneath it, Brian Reynolds makes the catch. Skenes sets down the Padres after half inning. San Diego nothing. Pittsburgh coming to bat on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.
Out into the Bermuda Triangle. Wow. Acuna with a shoestring grab. And here's some pop off the bat. Ramirez with a diving stop. Cole Young, a bounce throw. Retired Here's Ramirez.
The 1-1. Grounded up the middle into center field. Blue Jays win. Andres Jimenez walks it up.
Slap to the left side. Diving grab. Austin Riley playing over the shortstop position.
Merrill going back at the wall. He leaps and Merrill makes the catch. Jackson Merrill and some Merrill madness brings it back in the yard.
Good old-fashioned snaps it back.
Latest research, equipment, and technologies to build your personalized plan. At AHN, we see you. Call 412-DOCTORS to get expert care from AHN, the official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates.
It is the veteran righty, 33-year-old from Victoria, British Columbia, a Canadian native, Nick Pavetta, against the Pirates as the Padres go down in order, and O'Neal Cruz steps in with a 6-game hitting streak, 1 for 4 last night. Average on the year 308. 4 homers, 10 runs batted in. And he takes high ball 1 from Pavetta. Kind of similar starts, Pavetta and Skenes. They both got roughed up opening day and bounced back, rebounded in their second start. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch to Cruz. Fouled off to the left. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Pavetta, not nearly as hard a thrower as Paul Skenes, who averaged around 94, but his fastball plays way up. Just heard, if you heard Donnie Kelly, he likes to throw that 4-seamer up in the zone. Get some late swings.
1-1 over for a strike.
High spin rate guy. Throws basically just a 4-seamer, curveball, and a sweeper. The curveball's for the righties, the sweeper for the lefties.
1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Cruz knew it. Got him on the inside corner. That's 13 strikeouts. 8 1/3 innings so far for Pavetta. He can rack up some Ks. A guy that doesn't throw all that hard. Here's Brandon Lau. Lau 1 for 3 and a walk in last night's game. He is the designated hitter tonight for the Pirates. For the season, a .273 average to the lefty hitting normally second baseman. 3 homers, 4 runs batted in. And he hits this high in the air behind home plate. Catcher Fermin goes back to take a look, but it's several rows back and out of play. 0-1. Lau 4 for 18, a .222 career average versus Nick Pavetta, who's in the second year of a 4-year free agent contract he signed with the Padres. Oh, 1 count. He works from the stretch and delivers. And a little bit low.
They're going to challenge it.
Catcher challenge. We're watching the animation on the scoreboard. And it's a strike, bottom of the zone. Coming into this game, catchers have been right 60% of the time on their ABS challenges this year. Batters have been correct 47.5%, and pitchers 50%. Pavetta now ahead of the count, 0-2. Check swing outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Lau. Talk about German Marquez, last night's starter and winner, who shut out the Pirates through his first 5 innings, and his career numbers versus Pittsburgh: 7-1, 171 lifetime ERA against the Pirates. 1-2 pitch, high and away. Well, Nick Pavetta has the second lowest career ERA among all active pitchers, behind his teammate German Marquez. Pavetta's earned run average against the Pirates, .217. It's 2-2 on Lau.
You know, as you watch Pavetta throw and you see that 4-seam fastball, which seems to stay on the same plane, just doesn't come down. That's why you want to lay off the high one.
And a swing and a miss, a curveball.
Now we got a pretty short sample size, but I'm like just thinking to myself, if you're throwing that fastball, it almost looks like it's taking off rising, you're not getting much ground balls. He hasn't had a single ground ball hit against his fastball.
Huh. 2 outs and 2 strikeouts for Pavetta. Here's Brian Reynolds. He takes the ball outside, starts him off with a curveball. Reynolds was 1 out of 3, drew a walk last night. He's 4 for 9 in his career versus Nick Pavetta. And one of those 4 hits a home run. He's hit 2 home runs this season. Reynolds has 5 RBIs, batting left-handed against the righty, the 1-0. Comes back with another breaking pitch for a strike.
Yeah, the curveball. I had that backwards. He throws the curveball to the lefties, the sweeper to the righties. He'll cut the ball on occasion, very rarely.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Swing and a miss. The fastball to Brian Reynolds.
I mean, it is straight as a string, that fastball, too. And, you know, when you watch it, you're like, what? I mean, these guys, why can't they hit it? It's 94. I mean, it literally just takes off through the hitting zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Reynolds had called time. Back in there, 1-2 pitch. And a little bit low with the fastball. And another challenge. Freddie Fermin, the catcher. We watch the animation on the scoreboard. And it is a ball. So they are 1 for 2, or Fermin is 1 for 2 in challenges. And now Padres have 1 left the rest of the game.
0.2 of an inch below the zone. And that's, again, when he's throwing the ball up, 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 up. And, again, the ball has that carry. So when he throws it low, a hitter, it looks like it's nowhere close.
2-2 fouled off to the left out of play.
Yeah, you're trying to lay off that high one. It's like, you know, and it looks like it's a maybe belt high, letter high. And that's the one that's going to be hard to hit. But when he changes your eye level and he throws it down there around your knees, you give up on it right away. You just think it's going to be way low, but it kind of just, again, stays on that same plane.
Another 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Got him with a slider. And he strikes out the side in order. And a disgusted Reynolds fires his helmet and his bat aside. And we have played 1. It's scoreless.
I remember the first series I had, the first home run I hit was a grand slam against Seattle, which was the team that I had played for the year before. As we know, Cleveland can get a little cold, so we'll wear the dark blue long sleeves. And for some reason, this jersey, I always liked my jersey a little longer. The reasons for it, for a little padding, so when I would slide, I wouldn't get all patched up and roughed up.
Oppo Taco.
I'm going to guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field. You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, you know, someone that's just mailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
You know you need to get 5 innings in. Watch how quickly Blue Jays hitters swing.
Here's Griffin. There's one swing to be very quickly followed by another. Well, you said they'd swing at almost everything. Well, that is one of the strangest strikeouts you will ever see.
Free quote today at carshield.com. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Second inning, 0-0. Manny Machado leads off for the Padres. Paul Skenes struck out the first 2 and then got Jackson Merrill to fly to left. Machado 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI last night. Ground ball that was not initially cleanly fielded by Johan Ramirez. Ball 1. First pitch here in the second from Skenes. Here's the next pitch. And Machado takes outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Machado, Bogarts, Sheets. Here's the wide and the 2-0 from Skenes. And that's called a ball, maybe low, 3-0.
Just missed the last two fastballs. Maybe a little low, maybe a little off the outside edge.
3-0 pitch from Skenes. Swing and a miss. Big cut on the fastball. Manny Machado. Machado hitting .226, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. He's drawn 10 walks. He has struck out 9 times the early going of 2026. Machado, over the last 2 days, 3 for 8, homer, 4 ribbies. Next pitch is taken for ball 4. Skenes walks Machado to start the second.
Again, trying to paint that outside corner, just missing off that edge.
And brings up the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, who had a couple of hits last night and drew a walk. He's reached base safely now in 7 of his last 9 plate appearances, batting for the season .231. And a first pitch strike. Fastball to Xander Bogaerts. No homers, 3 ribbies. Spencer Horwitz holds the runner Machado. Skenes sets at the belt and brings it home. Check swing foul. Rolled toward the first base dugout, occupied by the Padres. They will finish up their road trip tomorrow, then head to San Diego. Pirates have an off day on Thursday. They'll travel tomorrow after the game to Chicago, face the Cubs this weekend. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The sweeper gets Bogaerts.
Well, that's a dandy, too. You know, the check swing foul ball was a 2-seam fastball that just kept running in on the right-handed batter. And he kind of started that sweeper in the same spot. But this time it was breaking the other way and had him way out in front.
Here's the pitch and the strike call. Gavin Sheets, left-hand hitting first baseman. The only Padre not to reach base last night, 0 for 5, and a batting average for the season of .231. No homers, 2 runs batted in for him. Here's the 0-1. Inside, fastball misses to Sheets. Machado still at first with 1 out in a scoreless game. Station break coming up after this pitch, as Skenes comes set after looking over at first base. The stretch and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. We step aside now on the Pirates Radio Network. Runner at first for the Padres here in the second inning. It's Manny Machado at first base. 1 out and a 1-2 count on lefty batting first baseman Gavin Sheets. Paul Skenes for the Pirates at the belt. And the 1-2. Line foul toward the second deck, and it'll rattle around and head back down to the field level seats. Third base side. 1-2 on Sheets. The count remains.
Yeah, that fastball just 96 for Skenes. That's not as fast as we've seen, of course, but a very, very late swing.
This swing is a pop-up on the left side. It's the third baseman, Nick York, who will make the catch just to the edge of the outfield grass. York, like a couple other players, has the full ski mask on, covering everything but his nose and eyes. On a chilly night in the Berg. Here's Miguel Andujar with 2 outs. Andujar, the former Pirate, 3 years ago was with Pittsburgh. And this year, first season with San Diego, hitting .261. Strike is called on the righty batter. No homers, 2 runs batted in. 6 hits and 23 at-bats. Signed as a free agent. And Andujar doing great work against righty pitching early going this season. The 0-1. Chopper toward third. Coming in is York. Has it, throws, and gets by a step on Duhar. The stretch by Horowitz. Leadoff walk, and then Skenes retires the next 3 through 1.5 at PNC Park. Padres nothing, Pirates nothing. On the Pirates Radio Network is presented by Iron City and Ice.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the Midnight Navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard, and became a free agent after 7 years with the Rockies, and I wanted to be a Yankee so bad. Putting this jersey on for a headshot for the first time, it felt different than any other shirt I'd ever put on in my career. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at PNC Park. It is 0-0. And Ryan O'Hearn will lead off for the Buccos. Check out the Pirates 6-pack plus plan. You build your plan with 6 games or more during the season. The more games you add, the more rewards you unlock. Get your 6-pack and learn more at pirates.com/6-pack. Ryan O'Hearn came to the Padres midsummer last year and was 1 for 3 with a walk against his former club, extending his on-base streak to 18 straight games going back to the end of last season. Lefty batter takes ball 1 from Nick Pavetta. .364 average for Ryan O'Hearn, which is 4th in the National League. He's hit 3 homers, his 11 RBIs, 7th most in the senior circuit. Hits this one high in the air, and that'll be out of play. Several rows back, third base side. His 1160 OPS is second highest in the National League. A 1-ball-1-strike count. Pavetta struck out the side in order in the first inning, and he's got a 1-2 count now as that cutter up. A challenge here from O'Hearn. Pirates are at 50% on challenges so far this season. And this is, wow, way up in the zone. I don't know how that was even close. So good call by O'Hearn.
Almost 3 inches. 2.8 to be exact.
By the way, the Padres are at 62%, which is among the league leaders. Tied with the Phillies for 4th best in the major leagues in terms of challenges. There's a strike called. It's 2-2 now on O'Hearn. Nick York to follow, then Nick Gonzalez. Pavetta, the pitch, and it misses, not by much, but it's 3-2. And fastball to Ryan O'Hearn gets it full. He has drawn 7 walks, has struck out 7 times. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fouled it back.
And you sit there and you think against Pavetta and all these fastballs, these 4-seam fastballs he's throwing, and obviously he has great success with it. And you sit there and you think, well, what do you do? How do you adjust? What can you do to get to this fastball that he throws so often?
3-2 is hit hard to left field, but that's going to be easy for the left fielder Ramon Laureano as he squeezes it for the out.
And that was hit over 97 miles per hour, and it went nowhere. You know, this cold air and not much of a breeze to speak of. I guess if anything, maybe blowing in a bit, but I was shocked that that ball went nowhere.
Going back to your question, though, about what you do with the fastball. Here's Nick York, modest 3-game hitting streak, 4 hits and 14 at-bats on the season for York. And, of course, the biggest of his career, the walk-off on Saturday, the double. There's ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, I thought O'Hearn did a nice job of adjusting.
1-0, little chopper. Off the mound, Pavetta, he'll barehand and throw to first. And, boy, that's a veteran for you. Did not get caught up. And trying to hurry it. He throws out York with a couple of steps in hand and 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the place to go this homestand. Hit it to the pitcher.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah.
The Orioles had some trouble fielding balls, and, you know, we had one yesterday.
Now it is Nick Gonzalez. Nick Pavetta against Nick York. Now Nick Pavetta against Nick Gonzalez. And Gonzalez is hitting .303 with no home runs, 5 runs driven in. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Over for a strike. That's a curveball.
Interesting that Pavetta throws Gonzalez 2 straight breaking balls where he's just as steady a diet with everybody else with that fastball. But Gonzalez is a shorter swing type guy. Gets to the ball quicker because he's so short with the swing.
It's a foul ball.
Even there, went with a cutter. It's yet to throw Nick Gonzalez a 4-seam fastball, which has been pretty much all he's thrown to everybody else.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Pavetta. 6 up, 6 down, 4 strikeouts through 2 innings, 0-0 on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.
Looking for extra power? Coppers. Need someone to bring the heat?
Austin Slater swings and misses at a slurve that hit him, and he is down on strikes. That's marginally embarrassing.
He's going to make sure the hair is in decent shape. That moved the rally cap to the other side of the head.
Oh, look out. Big fella lost his shillelagh on that pass.
We got a ferry boat upside down, the collector cup. Raising the bar for all of us.
Hot shot. The ball bounced off his glove and he starts. Oh my, wow.
It's the great Mascot race. Here we go. And they're off. They're neck and neck. Look at them go. The crowd is going wild. It's the home stretch. Who will win? It's the play at the plate. It's pause. Congratulations on winning the great Mascot race.
So this is MLB Network Talent Stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lawrence Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both? Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lawrence Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
Eighth in the order to lead things off for the Padres against Paul Skenes. That'll be Jake Cronenworth, and back to the top and Ramon Laureano. 3rd inning brought to you by the Ironworkers Local Union number 3. We don't go to the office, we build it. Fermin last night 2 for 4, scored a couple of runs. The catcher for the Friars hitting .190 for the season. No homers, 1 ribby. The pitch. Outside ball 1. Skenes his first home start. 27 career starts at PNC Park, 12-6 with a 2.10 ERA in this yard. 1-0 over for a strike. First game that Paul Skenes and Connor Griffin share the same field in a Pirate uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. And it's fouled off behind the first base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, Connor Griffin, baseball's top prospect, just 19 years old. Skenes won't turn 24 until late May, and there's a strike 3 called. 96 miles an hour. That gives him 4 strikeouts, and he's 4 away from 400 in his career.
And this may have been up. It was borderline up. Fermin definitely thought it was up. And this is another thing. I'm looking at the replay now. It was indeed above the strike zone. And that's another reason why you got to be careful challenging pitches early in the ball game.
Unless there's a strike is called, unless you know, like O'Hearn.
Yes,
unless or that one there would have been right, a no doubter.
Yeah,
but anything edgy.
Yeah, you got to be certain, especially when there's no traffic on the bases and you're going to challenge a call in a meaningless situation.
Oh, 1 to Cronenworth is high. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jake Cronenworth.
Because we're in the 3rd inning, and you only have 1 challenge left if you're the Padres. And so if they had 2, I would think that Fermin would have challenged that. But you can't do it with just 1.
1-1 pitch. Strike called on Cronenworth. 1-2 the count.
I think we're going to continue to learn. You know, when's a bad time to miss a challenge?
Well, we learned earlier. The Padres learned earlier.
For sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Who was it the other day for Baltimore, right? Didn't they? They could have had. They couldn't challenge the Nick York.
The Nick York. In that case, though, it was the top half of that inning.
1-2 pitch. Down low.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it was the top half of that inning.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's when they lost
Gunnar
their
Henderson,
maybe.
I think, challenged in the top of the 9th, which you could understand. But you're wrong, and now you're taking it out of your closers.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cronenworth with 1 out. He was 2 for 3 last night. Swings and misses for the strikeout. And now Paul Skenes has struck out 5 of the first 9 Padres.
You like to see it. He's been attacking that zone. That one a little upstairs to Cronenworth, but he couldn't lay off.
He had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings against the Reds. His last start in Cincinnati. He struck out Laureano in the 1st inning, and Laureano checks his swing. Appeal. First base umpire over there, Nick Marley, said he didn't offer. Here's the pitch. Ball outside.
And both those pitches very, very close. In fact, that one may have clipped the outside corner. Again, if you're not 100% sure, don't challenge. There's nobody on 2 outs.
Here's the 2-0. Ground ball sharply hit. Backhand Connor Griffin. And fires to first base to get the out. And 1-2-3. Go the Padres. 2.5 played. Skenes versus Pavetta. 0-0 on the Pirates.
There's a lot going on when Ohtani pitches and hits. So there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. It's a leadoff home run after he struck out 3 at the top of the 1st. And the Dodgers lead it 1-0. He hit 55 in the regular season, a Dodger record. And he's gone deep for the 3rd time this postseason, his first of the championship series.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker.
And here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting.
And now he's back to the left side. And a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
Spencer Horwitz leads off the Pirates here in the bottom of the third inning against Nick Pavetta. He has struck out 4 of the first 6. He's been perfect through 2 innings. Horwitz had a couple of hits plus a walk last night. He's 6 for 26 this season. That's a .231 mark. No home runs. 2 runs driven in. And he bends back, a cutter that's a little bit up and in on the lefty batter. Ball 1. Horwitz, Connor Griffin, Henry Davis against Pavetta. 1 ball, no strikes. Veteran righty delivers. Horwitz takes a strike. 31 innings for Nick Pavetta against the Pirates. 34 strikeouts. His last 3 starts, an ERA of 1.5 versus the Bucks. Pavetta, who was a 4th-round pick in 2013 by the Washington Nationals. This ball's fouled out of play, left side. Out of New Mexico Junior College. Pavetta was traded to the Phillies for Jonathan Papelbon, a deadline deal in 2015. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And the pitch to Horwitz. Check swing, called, 3rd strike, a curveball. 5 strikeouts for Pavetta.
And that's such a good pitch. I mean, you're up there against that 4-seamer and you're thinking, stay on top, figure a way to get the bat head out front. Then he throws a big old curveball. And he starts it up, and so out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be, neck high, and it's off the plate. And so you kind of give up on it early, and it comes down and breaks over that outside edge.
Connor Griffin hits a high fly ball to center field. Jackson Merrill is under it and makes the catch.
Like the swing, though. We have not seen many fastballs be put in play. In fact, that was just the 3rd ball put in play against Pavetta. O'Hearn on a 3-2 pitch flew a fastball out the left. York hit a cutter, tapped it back to Pavetta. But, yeah, that was a pretty good swing from Connor against the fastball that was up.
Here's Henry Davis, 0 for 2 last night with a walk. 4 hits and 23 at-bats on the season. And he fouls his cutter back, straight back. No homers, 3 RBIs. For Henry Davis. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 3rd inning. Pirates batting against Nick Pavetta. 0-0. Pavetta with the 0-1. A little bit up and in. Pavetta was traded to Boston in the summer of 2020 for Brandon Workman and Heath Hembry. Spent 5 years with the Sox. Went 37-41 in Boston with a 4.29 ERA. This pitch taken, fastball for a ball, 2-1. And again, he's in his 2nd season with the Padres, signing that free agent deal. The 2-1. Called strike. And Henry Davis not so sure, but doesn't challenge. Curveball called a strike, 2-2. He thought it was maybe a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Henry Davis, and the pitch. Pulled foul. Look out, Tony Beasley, 3rd base coach. First base coach Tarek Brock.
Now with these new roles where the coaches got to stay in that box, I mean, you try to get as far away from the hitter as you can.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's fouled back, and you heard Don Kelly talk about it. We chatted with Tony Beasley before the game about that play last night where Ryan O'Hearn was thrown out at the plate. The ball that was hit off the glove of the first baseman and the second baseman and dribbled into right field. And Beasley admitted he's got to figure out a way, with these coaches having to stay in that area. You get blocked sometimes. 2-2 pitch just misses. Pavetta thought it was strike 3. He had taken 3 strides toward his dugout. It's 3-2 now on Henry Davis.
And again, you waste that challenge. You don't want to use your second one this early, but that was probably a strike.
Full count from Pavetta. Here it comes. And that's pulled down the line, but hooking into the seats. Foul left side, left field line. Still 3-2.
Not throwing that fastball to Henry. I think he's just maybe 1 for a strike. It's about the 4th or 5th curveball he's thrown in this at bat.
3-2 on Henry Davis. 2 outs, nobody on, scoreless game, third inning. Here's the pitch, and that's in the air. Right side. First baseman backpedals onto the grass in shallow right, and that ball will drop between Sheets and Tatis. And Henry Davis, of course, hustling, is into second base with a double.
That's all Tatis right there. You know, he's just taking it for granted that the first baseman's going to make this play. He's just jogging in. And a lot of folks would think maybe that's the second baseman's ball, and that would be if the second baseman's playing straight up. But in this case, the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth's playing way up the middle, so he couldn't get there, but Tatis certainly could have with that speed.
And now O'Neal Cruz, and he grounds this to first. Up with it, Sheets. He'll step on the bag. Pirates leave a man, but they have the first base runner of the night in the first hit as we go to the fourth inning. It's 0-0 on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy.
I think style, it's a very complicated thing.
Custom cleats came when I earned the rights to wear custom cleats.
So I think without going out and being loud and saying this is who I am or whatever, you can just kind of wear a certain shoe or a glove or a batting glove or whatever, and it kind of shows who you are.
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
Nobody can steal a base like Ricky.
I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
So imagine making steals in these stuff.
So these are tie cups.
These are tie cups.
So what I want to know is, were they ever swabbed for the DNA of opposing pitchers?
Roberts is no stranger to stolen bases himself.
That's what makes it special, is that everybody knew he was going to steal.
Roberts is going. Safe.
You know what they say, one great play deserves another. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Fourth inning. 0-0, and here is Fernando Tatis to lead off for the San Diego Padres. They have one base runner. That was a leadoff walk to Manny Machado in the second. Skenes has struck out 5 of the first 10 batters he's faced. He struck out Tatis in the first inning. He'll be followed by Jackson Merrill and then Manny Machado. Skenes into the wind and the pitch. Breaking ball for strike one. Friday, April 17th, the Rays in town here, 6:45, the first MLB fireworks night of the season, presented by The Fan. Go to pirates.com/tickets, Friday the 17th. The 0-1 to Tatis, bouncing ball, and the shortstop is there behind second. Connor Griffin throws on to get Tatis. He looks like a natural over there.
He really does. He just kind of flows. Everything looks pretty effortless defensively. You know, anytime when we're watching from up here, you see the contact, and by the time you adjust to where the defender is, in this case Connor Griffin, he's already moving before your eyes adjust.
Here's Jackson Merrill, fly to left his first time up, and he takes high ball one. This will be pitch number 47 coming up for Paul Skenes. Here's the 1-0, up and away. Don Kelly was asked by the media before the game, his media scrum, about, I think he's ready to be stretched out, maybe 6 innings, 90 pitches, and Don Kelly would not commit to that. You heard him talking to Joe Block before the game. You're going to be careful. There's a dribbler up the first baseline. Skenes will have it and toss to first real quick. Nicely done. Spencer Horowitz does a real nice job of getting the ball from Skenes and getting his hand out of the way as
Merrill's racing past.
Well, as Skenes grabs that, he's almost right even with the first baseline, the foul line there, and he just throws a dart right over Merrill's head. Very close. I mean, it was so close to hitting Jackson Merrill, but somehow he's able to get it over his head, kind of get it. Horwitz, like you said, did a nice job. Good footwork there by him as well.
There's Manny Machado, drew a leadoff walk in the second inning. And the pitch. Strike one. Started him off with a fastball, and it was a check swing by Machado, who has hit safely and scored at least a run in each of the last 6 games here at PNC Park. Here's the 0-1. And this slider misses outside. A big reason why the Padres have won the last 7 straight here in this ballpark. The work of Manny Machado. 1 ball, 1 strike. Skenes the pitch. Over for strike 2. Catches the outer half and count a ball and 2 strikes, looking for his 6th strikeout of the night. Here comes the 1-2. Oh, they wanted it, didn't get it. Close pitch, 2-2. Thought we might see Ryan Blakeney ring up Machado there.
There's been about 6 or 7 of those fastballs that just missed maybe the ball width away from that outside corner.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out and blew it past him. Machado is Skenes' 6th strikeout victim. Head to the bottom of the 4th inning at PNC Park.
Oh. This ball's hit deep to left field. Ryan Reynolds clears the deck. Wow! Bangs off the facade of the second deck. Anchored down with his first home run. Back-to-back Bucks. 5-0 Pittsburgh.
That's what you want to see from Brian Reynolds. Driving the ball, using the middle of the field, and got that pitch out over the middle of the plate. Fans up there don't usually get home run balls. They almost got one there. And hey, let's do it.
I think style, it's a very complicated thing.
Custom cleats came when I earned the rights to wear custom cleats.
So I think without going out and being loud and saying this is who I am or whatever, you can just kind of wear a certain shoe or a glove or a batting glove or whatever, and it kind of shows who you are.
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century. And certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
Quite a pitcher's duel we've got going here. Pavetta versus Skenes, bottom of the 4th inning. Pirates bat. Brandon Lau struck out in the 1st inning. And he takes ball 1 from Pavetta, the curveball. Lau, Reynolds, O'Hearn, 2, 3, 4 in Don Kelly's lineup. Pavetta with 5 strikeouts. The 1-0. Check swing down low to Lau.
The big difference between the fastball and the curveball. You know, if you're just throwing 4-seam fastballs and curveballs, they're pretty easy takes, the breaking ball.
2-0, and that fastball there for a strike.
It'll come out of the hand so much different. Whereas the fastball, you know, it's coming right at you. That breaking ball, because it's slower and bigger, should be recognizable early and easy to take up till 2 strikes.
2-1. Swing and a miss. He swung and missed the curveball. 2-2 to Brandon Lau.
And he was pretty fastball heavy in that first time through the Pirates lineup, and already throwing more breaking balls to the first batter here in the fourth.
2-2 count on Lau. Nick Pavetta for the Padres with the pitch and a ground ball to first. Gavin Sheets will keep it himself. Pavetta went over to cover.
And interesting, so it talked about how there hasn't been a single ground ball hit against the fastball. That's the first one there. And that's what I was getting at earlier, a couple innings ago, about how do you go up against a guy like Pavetta with that kind of fastball. You don't want to swing harder. You don't want to swing earlier. But you do want to try to be a little shorter with your swing, and you do want to try to get your top hand over the ball, that fastball, because everything's kind of rising on you. You don't want to be underneath everything.
And now hit the other way by Reynolds, slicing out of play. Left fielder Laureano went over to take a look. Ball started to carry toward that left field foul pole, but sliced. Reynolds struck out in the first inning. That's the fastball for Pavetta among all big league pitchers who threw at least 1,500 fastballs last year. And that includes the cutters. There's a strike called. 4-seamers, 2-seamers. Pavetta, the lowest opponent's batting average against that pitch, 191 in all of baseball. Ahead of Brian Wu of the Mariners. Opponents hit 200 against that fastball. Swing and a miss. And Reynolds comes up empty on that fastball. And that's strikeout number 6.
Yeah, that one was right there, too. And so you start thinking to yourself, after your first at bat, well, I got to find a way to get on top. He's got me on that fastball about belt high. I'm underneath it. How am I going to adjust and get that top hand over the ball?
Ryan O'Hearn coming to the plate. We're going to step aside after this pitch for station identification. O'Hearn fly to left field his first time up, and he takes a strike. We pause on the Pirates Radio Network. A 1 swing and a miss. Goes up empty on the breaking ball. And it's 0-2 on Ryan O'Hearn.
And you start thinking about that top hand, then he throws you that big bender that starts about the same level as the fastball, that ends up down around your knees.
0-2 pitch in the dirt. In terms of that fastball, again, opponents hit 191 against it last year. Pavetta. Brian Wu of the Mariners, 200. Paul Skenes, that hit 205 off his fastball last year. Third lowest mark in baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Check swing up a little bit. 2-2 on Ryan O'Hearn. And again, Pavetta, much like Skenes, got an early exit in his first start. 3 innings, 6 runs against the Tigers, but last time up, 5 shutout innings against the Giants as O'Hearn takes ball 3, 3-2.
Another good at bat from O'Hearn. Another 3-2 count.
Here comes Pavetta's 3-2, and it's hit foul the other way. It'll reach the seats, left field side.
That's a tough one to waste right there. That pitch was up, well up out of the zone. That's hard to get to, again, because of the carry to that fastball. Going to get a curveball here.
The pitch, and a bouncing ball foul just in front of Tarek Brock. That curveball, Brock, the first base coach, stationed near that half box line. 3-2 the count. The pitch. O'Hearn hits this the other way. Maybe a play for Laureano, the left fielder, but that will bounce onto the track in foul ground. And untouched Laureano too far back to try and catch up to that one. Still 3-2 on Ryan O'Hearn.
About impossible to get pitches, against pitchers nowadays with the pitch calm. Now they're, the paranoia over the coaches, and now they're in the box. With Pavetta, maybe.
Oh, close pitch on the 3-2. The fastball taken low, and the Pirates have their second base runner. It's Ryan O'Hearn drawing the free pass.
And again, this might have been challengeable if you didn't already waste one.
Yeah.
And it would have been strike 3.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, that's just an unbelievably costly mistake on the part of the Padres earlier in the game. Was it first inning? Was that the challenge?
I'm trying to think who challenged.
I almost want to think it was Fermin, but should have marked it. I usually do. Nick York at the plate. Here's the pitch, and York takes low ball 1. York bounced to the pitcher in the second inning.
It's funny because if I'm watching the monitor as Pavetta's getting his sign and coming set, if you were standing on second base, you might be able to get his pitches, by the way. He
I was going to
the
ask
ball.
you that, yeah. Now, why is that? Pitch is taken outside 2-0.
You could see ball in hand from the center field camera. And if you weren't taking too big of a lead, when he throws his curveball especially, he has a knuckle curveball, and you can see that knuckle coming off the ball.
2-0 pitch. York fouls this one away. Off to the right. Will reach the club level.
Yeah, it's very rare nowadays. I could remember a guy like Greg Maddux. I really don't think he cared, but he had a big, huge glove, and you kind of see from behind second base when he gripped his change.
And a strike is called.
Now, it wouldn't help you against the cut fastball. The cut fastball he holds like his fastball, and that's what that pitch was. And borderline pitch, too close to challenge.
2-2. Pavetta facing York, the pitch, and this is pulled foul past third base coach Tony Beasley.
Interesting as we were talking about Tony Beasley and that situation with O'Hearn at second, Nick Gonzalez at first on that ball. He didn't see the ball deflected. And he said part of it was because of his positioning. He's usually further down the line.
Outside, 3-2.
Forever. If there's a runner on second base where you're a third base coach and you want to get a better read and you want the runner to see you, they're much closer to home plate than where that coach's box is. And so you're less likely to be blocked off.
3-2, and York fouls this pitch off to the right into the seats it goes.
So these coaches, especially the third base coaches, mostly, they got to get moving as soon as the ball's hit, where they normally position themselves in a spot to where they're already where they need to be after the ball's hit. Now they got to be moving as soon as
watching.
it's struck. Yes.
Kind of on the run while watching. 3-2. Fouled back. Nick York battling Pavetta. Still 3-2. Of course, O'Hearn off on each pitch. Runner first with 2 outs. 6 strikeouts for Pavetta. Scoreless game here. Pirates bat bottom of the 4th inning. O'Hearn battled Pavetta. Drew the walk on the 3-2 pitch. Now York fouling off a couple of 3-2 offerings. Here comes another payoff pitch. And this time a swing and a miss at a sweeper. So that is strikeout number 7 for Pavetta. He is matching zeros with Paul Skenes onto the 5th at PNC Park.
On the mound for the Marlins, it is Yuri Perez. The 22-year-old won't turn 23 until April 15th, and last season had a 4.25 ERA. Those numbers are very deceiving because he had a really strong finish. Perez has got him 0-2. See ya.
That's the old good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and all on heaters. When you got it going, stay with it.
3-2 right there, called strike 3.
The four-seamer, which he'll throw probably over 50% of the time.
Nobody on, 2 out. The 2-2 pitch from Perez to Rumfield. Called strike 3. Look at the emotion from Yuri Perez in his season debut. Yuri got him with a fastball. He gets the approval of Sandy Alcantara. 7 innings for Perez.
Yeah, and it's really amazing when you say he's still just 22 years old.
2 outs, 2 strikes on Reggie, and you've got to know he's going to get the super sinker. The set, here it comes. The sinker swung on and missed. Reggie is fuming at Dale Ford. Reggie's been ejected. Reggie Jackson has been thrown out of the game. And now Reggie comes back. He's got a bucket of ice, and he's spreading it all over the AstroTurf.
Channel3.com and apply now before time runs out.
Now to the 5th inning here at PNC Park. 0-0. Paul Skenes has struck out 6 Padres. 1 batter has reached. Manny Machado, leadoff walk in the 2nd. Here's Xander Bogaerts, one of his strikeout victims. 5th in the order, Gavin Sheets on deck. Skenes pitch number 54 on the night coming up, and a bouncer foul toward the Pirates' third base dugout. Skenes now 2 strikeouts shy of 400 punch-outs for his career. Here's the 0-1 to Bogaerts. A line drive, a short hop play made by the second baseman Gonzalez over behind second. He throws on to get Xander Bogaerts.
That's a good little adjustment there from Nick Gonzalez. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a tough, like a hard hit, kind of line drive that was going to beat to his right. And I think he read it that it wasn't hit all that hard, whether jammed or off the end of the bat. But so Nick actually got himself around the ball, got in front of it, and got himself a nice little short hop.
Gavin Sheets hits this in the air, left side, and looks like it's going out of play. Henry Davis over to take a look. So too coming in, third baseman Nick York, but it's several rows back, and it's 0-1 on Gavin Sheets, who popped up to York in the 2nd inning. The wind, Skenes delivers. Strike called. Changeup. Catches the inside corner. Sheets was backing away, the lefty hitter. 0-2.
So much movement on his changeup. Moving away from the left-handed batter. That might have started off the plate in and caught the inside edge.
0-2. Roller first base. Up with it. Horwitz steps on the bag. Out number 2, 5th inning.
And that's one of those where Gavin Sheets is going to go in front of the heater. That was off the end of the bat. His fingers are numb. That's a bad one right there. You try so hard not to hit off the end of the bat, but that was one there. It's vibrating.
Andujar. He's one down in the dugout trying to get a room where it's warm right now. Miguel Andujar grounded to the third baseman York in the 2nd inning, and he takes strike 1.
And I haven't never even thought of that with a first baseman. He got to go out there and throw the ball around and take throws.
Yikes. 2 outs, 5th inning, 0-0. Paul Skenes with the 0-1 to Andujar. Check swing, and the slider misses pretty badly. 1-1.
Every time I get in a cold game like this, I can't help but think like a June evening in Buffalo.
Oh, gosh.
It was so cold there.
Yes, right.
And Steve Balboni over there with those sleeves.
1-1 pitch. Line fouled into the seats.
Steve Balboni was a DH for Omaha, and he'd come in there and he'd sit in the dugout, all 280 of them with no sleeves on, with his arms crossed, waiting to hit.
Seemed just fine.
He was fine.
Bye-bye, Balboni. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andujar. 2 outs, 5th inning, nobody on, 0-0. Skenes the wind. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses away, 2-2. And Skenes not happy with himself. That slider was not close.
One of the rare pitches tonight that wasn't close. I mean, Skenes has been attacking the zone. Even his misses have just been barely off.
Here's the 2-2. And that's top foul. Yeah, it's interesting. 2 of the pitches, his worst pitches, frankly, of the night have come here in this at-bat against Andujar.
And I like the way he has attacked, especially these last couple of innings in the zone early, getting earlier swings, earlier contact, quicker outs.
Here's the 2-2. And doesn't miss by much, that sweeper, but taken, and it's 3-2.
Now you think of Paul Skenes as a guy, complete games, going deeper in games. For him to be able to complete a game, he has to be in the zone early and get early contact.
Payoff pitch to Andujar. Ooh, hit him 97 miles an hour. Ooh.
I think it got him right in the ribs, too.
Oh, my gosh. He's just trotting to first base.
He is He is doing a great job of playing that off. That ball got him up, got him in the elbow pad, then in the ribs. So 2 bruises on 1 pitch.
A 2-out base runner.
At least he's a DH and go and put a heat pack on those.
Now Freddie Fermin steps in. Struck out looking, the catcher for the Padres. Second base runner for San Diego. The pitch. And a breaking ball misses. That slider, a little trouble with it here from Skenes in the 5th inning. In terms of his command with that pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. The stretch. The pitch. And it's a pop-up on the right side. Second baseman Gonzalez is calling off Horwitz, and he makes the catch. And that's 5 for Skenes with 2 base runners, a walk and a hit batter. And after 4.5, it's 0-0 on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
He's just the 2nd player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Nothing. 5th inning, bottom half now. Pirates come to the plate against Nick Pavetta, who has struck out 7 in his first 4. He's allowed 1 hit, and that was the only hit of the game, and a bit tainted because Fernando Tatis appeared to assume that the first baseman Gavin Sheets was going to make a catch on a pop-up by Henry Davis in shallow right field. It dropped between Sheets and Tatis, went for a double. The other batter to reach for the Pirates, 2-out walk to Ryan O'Hearn, who sets a career high in terms of his on-base streak at 19 straight going back to last year. This 5th inning brought to you by the IBEW Local Union number 5. Nick Gonzalez, one of the strikeouts for Pavetta. Here's the pitch and a bouncing ball. Third base, Machado in on the grass, guns it to first to retire the first batter, the bottom half of the 5th inning. Nick Gonzalez, 1 out.
Another one off the end of the bat. And Nick Gonzalez was up there and he was ready for some high heat. You could tell he was pretty short to the ball, but that late moving cutter broke to the end of the bat.
Here's Spencer Horwitz. Horwitz struck out in the 3rd and takes strike 1 here in the 5th inning. By the way, I asked when the Padres lost their challenge. They lost it in the 1st inning when Brian Reynolds was at the plate. Strike is called. 0-2. They have 1 challenge left. The Pirates have both of theirs. 0-2 on Horwitz. Pavetta once again has been brilliant against the Pirates, and the batter Horwitz calls time. Enter for a chance to be the Pirates play ball kid prior to a game at home this season.
courtesy of Caliente Pizza and Draft House. There's a ground ball, base hit to left. Machado playing over the shortstop position. And Horwitz took advantage of that hole, and it's a one-out base hit to left.
And we talked about this in last night's game, the ability of Spencer Horwitz to adjust with 2 strikes, to shorten up, to get on top of the baseball. Kind of what I was talking about earlier with Pavetta and that high fastball. You almost want to exaggerate that top hand over the ball, which he did. Got on top of about a letter-high fastball.
Here's Connor Griffin. Griffin looks at strike 1, 93 miles an hour. He swung at the first pitch, a fastball in the 3rd inning, and flied to center.
And it was a good swing. Looked on time.
Here's the 0-1. Check swing, a little bit up. All kids 5 to 14 years of age can register for a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime experience to come down onto the field before a game, a pregame, kick off the game by yelling "play ball." This includes 4 game tickets and a Pirates Caliente Pizza and Draft House prize pack. Ball's fouled back. A 1-2 count now on Connor Griffin. Enter at pirates.com/playballkid.
Connor Griffin, one of the few out here today on the field taking batting practice. Puts on quite the show.
Yeah. 1-2 strike pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Machado coming in. He'll field and throw and safe. Infield hit for Connor Griffin. His 2nd big league hit. The infield variety. Puts runners at first and second.
Yeah, as soon as it left his bat, I think it was a breaking ball, maybe a cutter that he was just protecting on. And it was like a swinging butt. Machado, as good as they get over there at third base, did everything right. But Connor Griffin has too much speed.
That's the other part of his game, John, that can allow him. People talk about struggles at the plate. Yeah, but he can help himself and the Pirates in other ways.
Well, I'll tell you, just that there's a meeting on the mound, so we have a moment. Watching Connor Griffin and working on his swing, they had the velocity machine and the breaking ball machine, and you can tell he's working on some things. The first swing of the game for him, looked more on time, like I said, looked more handsy. He just missed it, got the bat out. On this, it might not sound like much, but it was a curveball that was down and away from him. So he had to go get it. Okay, and when you're going to go and get that pitch, and he's out off the front foot, off the end of the bat, he's out of the box. When we've seen him hit ground balls so far in this homestand, he's been on his heels.
Right. He's almost leaning back.
Can't get out of the box.
Henry Davis now takes a pitch inside. So that's interesting.
Very, it's baby steps, but there's steps for the better for sure.
First and second, 1 out. Henry Davis, that double that dropped in front of Tatis. Here pops this one up in foul territory. Manny Machado in foul ground puts it away for the 2nd out.
And, being aggressive with the fastball and just caught it a little bit deep, did Henry Davis. Though it was nice when to mention this, his first at bat, the pop up to right that fell in. He's hit some balls hard, and he's putting the ball in play, and you expect to get rewarded for putting the ball in play. I thought he hit a ball really well last night to right center. I think the wind held it up. Nice to see him get a little luck.
O'Neill Cruz 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. The pitch. He takes strike 1, the curveball. Ready to get in the game, play to win with the PA Lottery. Visit PALottery.com or download the app today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. 0-1. Pitch to Cruz. Swings and misses that pitch in the dirt, well in front of the plate. So he's in the hole, 0-2.
Yeah, and this is, again, we've talked about this early on. As good as Cruz has been against lefties, the approach has not been quite the same against right-handed pitchers. And for me, the question is why? Think the other way against these righties.
0-2. A little bit low with a slider.
Because, he's done such a good job of laying off that breaking ball out of the zone against lefties, but not so much against righties. And so why not just go up there with that same mentality of hitting the ball the other way?
1-2 strike pitch. And it's grounded the other way and past the third baseman, Machado. Horowitz scores. Griffin going to be waved home. Here's the throw. He's too fast. The kid slides in. Headed to third, Cruz. Pirates lead 2-0 in the fifth. Oh, my goodness. Cruz squirted it past Machado. Brings home 2 more to give him a dozen ribbies on the year, and the Pirates a 2-0 lead in the fifth.
And boy, did he ever let this get deep. I mean, he hit it right off his fists, which is fine. There's hits over there. There's a lot of holes that way. And so now once you get the ball out of the infield, boy, is it a treat to watch Connor Griffin go around the bases. No hesitation from Tony Beasley. He was absolutely flying and scores easily from a ball that wasn't hit 250 feet from home plate.
That's so funny. I look down at Beasley. I see the arm wave. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Strike is called. Wow. Yeah, it was no contest for Connor Griffin. Horowitz got it started with his opposite field single. Griffin, the infield hit. And Cruz goes the other way with a 2-run double. He's at third now. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 on Brandon Lau, who has struck out and grounded out.
By the way, RBI 11 and 12 for O'Neal Cruz.
And a 7-game hitting streak for him now. Moments after John Wayner was talking about letting it get deep. Taking that approach. He does. 0-2 the count on Lau. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. But damage done. Horowitz, Griffin, and O'Neal Cruz. And on to the sixth. 2-0 Pirates on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.
We're back, fans. The Pirates have already put together some pretty impressive.
Caught by the diving Lau and on to first for a double play. Makes the sliding catch.
The timing on that. Timed it perfect. Great job.
Carroll racing after it. Oh, what a sliding grab. Nice play, Corbin Carroll.
Line drive over to short. C.J. Abrams elevates.
Oh, Alex Bregman was able to steal a hit from Mike Trout.
Ground ball up the middle. Rivas, it brings him to the bag. He steps on second. Judge, a double play.
Neto with a backhand has it. Throw to second one. Over to first. Two. A double play.
Diving stop. Betts to his feet. Sidearms to first. Got him. Oh, what a play.
Highlight defensive play, Mookie Betts.
Long throw. Candelario across. Got it.
What a play by Candelario on that one.
Mookie Betts can no longer be talked about as an outfielder playing shortstop. He is a shortstop.
Diving to his right, Cole Young knocks it down, pops up, throws the first. Low picked in time by Josh Naylor.
Sometimes artifacts in the collection of the Hall of Fame can tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
Who faces Jake Cronenworth, 9-man in the order, and one of his 6 strikeouts. That came in the third inning. Skenes will throw pitch number 68 here, and it's a sweeper, and it's taken a bit outside to the lefty hitter. Station break coming up. 1 ball, no strikes the count on Cronenworth, who had 2 hits last night. Here's the 1-0 offering. And that's outside. Let's pause on the Pirates Radio Network. Two balls, no strikes. Skenes the pitch. Cronenworth fouls it back out of play. That's a pitch number 70. We stress that pitch count because you heard Don Kelly talk to Joe Block. They're just not going to let him go. I don't know that he'd go to 100 the way he was talking to the media before the game. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1.
I'm surprised the way he started Cronenworth. I mean, he's been so aggressive in the zone through these first 5 innings. mostly with fastballs and getting ahead. He went breaking ball, changeup, fastball, late swing, then another changeup to fall behind 3-1.
The 3-1 pitch, low. He walks the leadoff man.
You know, I think with Paul Skenes, you know, we talk so highly of him, and rightfully so, generational type pitcher. You know, still looking for his first complete game, and at times, that's what you see. Too many pitches to certain batters unnecessarily, you know, with that stuff.
Ramon Laureano at the plate, and that's in the dirt.
Again, a first pitch changeup. I mean, this guy has been unhittable, no hard contact whatsoever, pretty much dominating these Padres the first 2 times through. And at times, you know, when the pitch count gets up, a lot of times because of what he chooses to throw.
Sharply hit, backhand play made at third. York throw to second for 1 to first. Safe at first base. York stabs it, throws to second. Gonzalez takes the throw, and his relay just a tad late as Laureano got down that line quickly. 1 away.
York hasn't played a lot of third. A little bit of a stumble as he catches that smash to his left. And, you know, by the time he righted himself, good, strong, accurate throw to Nick Gonzalez. But that little bit of a stumble is the only reason they don't turn 2. It was very close at first.
Here is Fernando Tatis. He has struck out and grounded out. The pitch from Skenes, and he swears to bunt and actually was truly thinking about it and takes a strike. A sweeper, 0-1 to Tatis. Here's the 76th pitch of the night coming up from Skenes. The 0-1. And a ground ball base hit into left field between the shortstop Griffin and the third baseman York. Puts runners at first and second. Kept talking about the pitch count because, and we're trying to be respectful of old broadcasting tradition. A lot of people in baseball that don't like to talk about no hitters. So we waited, but really wasn't going to happen anyway. He's just not going to be allowed to, at least yet, to go the distance. And Jackson Merrill at the plate. He has flied out and bounced to Skenes. 2 on, 1 out, the pitch. And Merrill takes ball 1, the splitter. I haven't seen many splinkers at all.
No, not at all. And you think about it, and for a guy like Paul Skenes, who definitely has no-hit stuff, I mean, you'd think that he will have no hitters in his career.
The 1-0, fouled back.
But in this day and age, for Paul Skenes or anybody else to pitch a no-hitter, you're talking 14 pitches or less, 14 at max per inning. So you're thinking you got to get there with about 13 pitches per inning to go through 9.
1-1, check swing down low.
And so,
going back to your point.
Yeah, to my point is you're going to have to attack. You're going to have to get early contact. You know, get ahead of hitters, of course. He's so hard to hit. The other thing that goes against him.
2-1 pitch is low. It's 3-1 changeup.
Yeah, the other thing that goes against him is, I'll say a couple of things. He's so hard to hit that when he's in the zone, guys don't put it in play. They foul off a lot of pitches. So the pitch count's going to get up that way. The other, I think, in my mind, watching Paul Skenes, he feels that he could throw any pitch, anytime, anywhere.
3-1 ground ball second. Lau throw to second for 1 and on to first, and they turn the double play. Connor Griffin, the middleman. Gonzalez to Griffin to Horwitz. 4-6-3 DP. Well, the Padres get their first hit, but Skenes gets out of that.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Gino swung on, crushed. High, deep, left field. There it goes. Goodbye. Into the second deck. A 3-run go-ahead blast.
Hey, Eugenio Suarez to the second deck. And he thunders the Reds ahead 3-2.
Well, there was absolutely no doubt about that one right there. 431 feet for Suarez.
That ball was smashed.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good
She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
Okay, I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs. And then next day, I got to eat arepa with eggs. So my mom make it for me. And then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos leyendo.
Joining us tonight celebrating Yoshi bobblehead. It's time now for the start.
Well, good news for the Pirates. Nick Pavetta is out of there after 5 innings. He strikes out 8. The new pitcher is Reagular Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, a 169 earned run average. He's worked 5 1/3 innings over 3 appearances, 4 hits, no walks, 6 punch-outs.
The batter Brian Reynolds 0 for 2 against Pavetta with 2 strikeouts. Pavetta punches out 8. This is fouled off to the left and out of play.
Huge double play there for Paul Skenes. And that cleans it up. That helps the pitch count. That will get him another inning, I believe. Don't see anybody up in the Pirates bullpen. But I doubt he'd go more than just the 7th.
The 0-1 outside. One ball, 1 strike. To Brian Reynolds, the pitch. Swing and a miss, change up.
Boy, good change up. Late movement.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brian Reynolds. Ryan O'Hearn next. And then Nick York. Here's the 1-2. A little bit low.
Yeah, that changeup from Rodriguez, pretty sharp. Hard thrower as it is. He's up in the upper 90s. But that changeup, boy, it comes in 89, 90 miles an hour, and it just dies as it comes to the plate. Real good movement.
2-2 pitch in the dirt. Nick Pavetta goes 5, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Reagular Rodriguez for San Diego. The Pirates up 2-0. 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air the other way. Slicing toward the seats. Left fielder Laureano is over. And it will bounce up against the high sidewall. It's still 3-2. Join the Pirates on the rooftop for Pup Nights on select Tuesdays here at PNC Park. You, your dog, and Bucko Baseball. Get more information. Buy your tickets early at pirates.com/pups. Looks like another sellout up there despite the chilly conditions. Up there on the rooftop. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball back to the pitcher. And Rodriguez will toss on to first. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Bucks on top 2-0. Ryan O'Hearn has flied out and walked. Increasing his on-base streak. 19 straight games. The pitch to him. Low ball 1.
That changeup to lefties throws it over half the time. Another one, we got Reynolds on it on the 3-2 pitch. First pitch to O'Hearn was the change.
Strike, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he threw another changeup there.
Oh.
Yep, he's going to challenge it. I thought it was down.
O'Hearn's second challenge, I think, of the night, right?
Yep, both on similar pitches down in the zone.
Yeah, and that was very low. Wow, almost 3 inches.
Yeah.
So it's 2-0. on Ryan O'Hearn with one out. Bottom of the sixth, Pirates lead 2-0. The pitch. Taking all the way, in fact, almost stepping out of that left-hand batter's box as the pitch was delivered. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on O'Hearn. The pitch outside. It's 3-1.
Doubt he'll be taking all the way here. He got a good look at a couple of those fastballs. He'll be looking for something he could drive.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Reagular Rodriguez for the Padres. The pitch. That's a strike. 3-2. Pirates with 4 hits. The double by Davis in the third that dropped in front of the right fielder Tatis. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a foul, just gets a piece of it in and out of the mid of the catcher Fermin. And in the 5th inning, Spencer Horwitz, the left-hand batter, with the base hit to left. Connor Griffin, the infield hit to third. And then O'Neal Cruz, opposite field 2-run double. By the way, that's 31 opposite field hits for the Pirates this season. They lead the major leagues in opposite field hits this year.
Not surprised.
3-2. The pitch. And there's another opposite field hit. It's a ground single as they have vacated that third base position again. Machado over at shortstop, and O'Hearn just slapped it to left. A ground single. And he's on base for a second straight time.
That pitch was 98 at the top of the zone and about 4 inches off the outside corner. You want to talk about a good approach. Now, that's 3 hits for Pirate lefties, and they were almost identical. All 3 of them going through that hole between the third baseman Machado and the third baseman.
So much fun to watch these players in this approach. Nick York takes a pitch inside.
Well, it was the other day, I think Sunday against Orioles, the Pirates racked up 10 hits. And every one of them was either to center field or the opposite way.
I know you said you're not surprised because of the approach. The only surprise is that this Pirates team has flipped the script in such a short time. Strike is called, because this has not been like them.
No.
In recent past.
Now, we've seen guys like Reynolds do it, and we've seen guys like York and Gonzalez do it, Horwitz, of course. But I think it helps to have guys like Lau, O'Hearn.
Mm-hmm. The 1-1 to York, swinging a foul tip.
And we know Cruz has made an effort, with the way he's worked to hit lefties better. And, it feels like, a good bit of his hits against lefties have been the other way, except for when they hang him a curveball, and those are the ones he's pulling into the seats.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled off to the right into the seats by Nick York, who has bounced to the mound and struck out. O'Hearn now batting .371 on the season after that base hit. He's at first with 1 out. The Pirates are leading 2-0. Batting in the home half of the 6th inning. Sheets holds the run of O'Hearn. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nick York. Rodriguez delivers. It's popped up. That'll be out of play behind the first base dugout.
This would kind of be an unusual bat for a right-handed batter against Rodriguez. A rare right-handed pitcher that does not throw a breaking ball. So as a right-handed hitter, everything's going to be coming at you fairly straight. And if it's breaking at all, like the change or the sinker, it's running into you.
1-2, top foul, third base way.
Now, he does have a cutter. Now I'm looking at the velocity of the cutter. I'm not calling it a cutter. I'll take that back. He does have a breaking ball. You're not throwing 88-mile-an-hour cutters. If you're throwing 98 with a fastball, it's not a cutter. It's a slider.
There's a ground ball, base hit to right. Puts runners at first and second.
So another hit the other way. The only base hit by a Pirate today that didn't go the other way was the tapper by Connor Griffin that he was out in front of and hit a dribbler to third base. Everything else the other way. That's a nice little piece of hitting for Nick York. Just up there, staying short. could go the other way with the best of them.
Sixth inning is brought to you by the operating engineers of Local 66. Nick Gonzalez, first and second with one out, looking to add on, leading 2-0. The pitch. He takes a strike at the knees, a changeup.
The two Knicks, I think, are pretty similar in styles, hitting styles, you know. Shorter swings, will stay inside the ball, both with occasional pop.
0-1. Ground ball, third base side. Backhand play made. Machado steps on third, throws to first, and out there. Manny Machado is as good as it gets over at third base. Took about 3 steps, steps on the bag, guns to first base to get the out. A bang-bang play, and that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. Head to the 7th. 2-0 Buccos on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Have a 2-0 lead as we go to the 7th inning here at PNC Park. And Paul Skenes, with Isaac Mattson already loosening, will be on a very short leash here. This will be pitch number 82. Manny Machado has walked and struck out. Got the impression that the pitch count was going to be around 90. And there's a fly ball left center field coming in to make the catch as O'Neal Cruz started back a little bit, kind of looped in and makes the catch. One pitch, one out in the top half of the 7th inning.
And there's an example of being in the zone early and getting a quick out. You know, for Skenes to go deeper in ball games, which everybody wants to see, he's got to have those type of outs. And now he gets a free strike. So, you know, you're just more than welcome to throw this one right down the middle after the one pitch, one out.
Xander Bogaerts takes the strike. Bogaerts has struck out, hit a one-hop shot to the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez. The 0-1 from Skenes. Missed outside with a fastball. Paul Skenes trying to complete 7, but again, it will be a very short leash. And we think that that pitch count limit was about 90, according strike is called, though Don Kelly didn't come out and say it, alluded to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's no way he's coming out of this game if he doesn't give up a base runner. This is bad. Or this, yeah, in this inning.
In this inning, yeah. Here's the 1-2. Breaking pitch misses. Sweeper, 2-2.
How do you take that pitch? He's coming in with nasty two-seamers on the hands, and he threw a perfect sweeper that barely missed away. That's a good take.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Drive to left. Back. Reynolds. And gone. Xander Bogaerts jumped on the 2-2 pitch from Skenes. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball hits his first home run of the season and whacks it over the left field wall to make it a 2-1 ball game.
I'm shocked to see that. You know, maybe 1 or 2 balls hit hard all evening against Paul Skenes on this cold night. And that fastball wasn't a bad one either. It was right on the inner third of the plate, about belt high. But nice job there at Bogaerts, clearing the hips.
That's going to be it for him. That is going to be it. 383 feet. And Don Kelly is out of the dugout. Skenes will go 6 1/3. He will reach 87 pitches. He will leave with a 1-run lead. And a brave bunch of folks braving this cold weather night, standing and applauding Skenes as he marches off, heading into his third base dugout. Isaac Mack.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
It'll start, get 7 in and bring your 8th inning guy in, your 9th inning guy, but Donnie thought, 87's enough. So Batson going to try to improve on his good numbers. That fastball, attacking 3 ERA now.
Gavin Sheets at the plate, lefty batter. Takes strike one. Changeup starts him off.
How about that? Yeah, that was a shock.
Madsen struck out Sheets last night in the 7th inning.
7th appearance for Isaac. 7 hits allowed.
2 of those hits came in the 7th inning last night. The 0-1. Fouled it back. He struck out Jackson Merrill, but gave up an opposite field hit to Manny Machado and a base hit by Xander Bogaerts before striking out Sheets to end the 7th inning last night. 2-1 ball game. Pirates lead it. 1 out in the 7th. Gavin Sheets popped up, grounded out against the starter Skenes, and hits this the other way. Back a few steps goes Reynolds and makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's Miguel Andujar. Well, Paul Skenes' chance to win his 2nd straight game, but a lot of work to be done yet. And Saturday, April the 18th, Pirates will host the Tampa Bay Rays at 4:05. All fans get a Paul Skenes Cy Young bobblehead presented by PNC. Go to pirates.com/tickets. Unless there's a weather issue in the next couple weeks, this pitch is taken low ball 1, a curveball from Madsen. Skenes is actually in line to start that day. His next start should be next Monday here at PNC Park against the Nationals. Here's the 1-0. Pitch called low, 2-0. Pirates have that brief weekend trip to Chicago's Wrigley Field and then host the Nationals in a 4-game series before the Rays come in. There's a line drive base hit on a 2-0 pitch by Andujar. He's at first with 2 outs. And on base for a second time tonight. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Brings up the catcher, Freddie Fermin. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Pirates Radio Network. Fermin has struck out looking and popped up. And a first pitch low ball 1. The home run by Bogaerts off of Paul Skenes is the first home run a Pirates starting pitcher has allowed this season.
That's right. Amazing. I didn't have that happening. That was the last thing I thought I'd see against Paul Skenes tonight.
53 2/3 innings. Pitches fouled back. They came in with the 5th longest streak to start a season without allowing a homer going back to 1950. Starting pitchers have been outstanding. Aside from that blip, couple of blips, really, the Skenes first start, and Chandler last night wasn't great. Ball's popped up, shallow right, and the right fielder, O'Hearn, calls off Gonzalez to put it away. That completes the top of the 7th, and it's 7th inning stretch time here at PNC Park. The Bucks leading the Friars 2-1.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
Run down by Kwan, makes the catch. Could be a double play, throw to first. There it is.
And there's a nice play, Connor Griffin. What a play.
Acuna with a good jump, and he will get there. Whoa, they got him! Oh, ho, ho! Luis Matos, welcome to the crew!
What a play by Nathan Lucas.
He went into Superman formation.
What a throw by Jared Young. He played that ball beautifully.
Out is the call at second base.
Double play! How about that?
Good stop by Okamoto, and the throw is in time. What a play down at third.
At the wall, he jumps and he's got it! Crashes into the wall.
Takes a hit away. Going back at the track and a leaping catch. What a snap by the backstop.
Spinning, turning, what a play! Tanner Murray in his big league debut.
Pirates looking to add on here, bottom of the 7th. They lead by 1. The new pitcher for San Diego is veteran lefty Wandy Peralta. Ragley Rodriguez, which is a scoreless 6th.
5 outings for Peralta. He's worked 4 innings. He's allowed 7 hits, a couple of runs, one of those a homer. Hasn't walked anybody. 2 punch outs. The ERA at 4.5.
Lefty hitting Spencer Horwitz. It was 1 for 2 off the starter Pavetta. Pavetta is on the hook, gave up the 2 fifth-inning runs. Horwitz got it started with his 1-out opposite field single, and he and Connor Griffin scored on an O'Neill Cruz opposite field double. Here is the pitch. Up and in.
Peralta pretty firm, averaging about 95 miles per hour. Likes his changeup, throws a ton of them. That's about all you're going to see as a right-handed batter.
Pitch taken, strike, 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
And he'll throw at the lefties as well. That was a 1-0 change.
Pitch off the foot of the batter.
Dribbles out toward the pitcher. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Horwitz. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Pirates, the official source for your Pirates gear. The 1-2. A little bit low.
Another change. 3 consecutive changeups to Horwitz.
2-2. The pitch inside, almost nicked his elbow.
Boy, just missed him. I don't know how it missed him.
3-2 the count.
Peralta not afraid to go without sleeves. I think maybe the first I've seen tonight.
Payoff pitch. Walked him. Great job. Spencer Horwitz on base again. A leadoff free pass against the lefty, and here's Connor Griffin. Griffin beat out that infield hit to the third baseman Machado and then raced home on the double by Cruz. Griffin, after getting that first hit in his first big league plate appearance opening day on Friday, went hitless in his next 13 at-bats before that infield hit. Lefty delivers. Ground ball shot to third. Machado has it. Throw to second for 1 and on to first for a double play.
106 off the bat. 3 encouraging at bats, I think, for Connor Griffin here tonight. Just missed the fastball to center. Had the base hit off the end of the bat, and that was an absolute bullet. And Machado was playing even with the bag, so it got to him very, very quickly. About the only ball that Connor Griffin's going to hit that is going to result in a double play.
There's a ground ball to the right side. Henry Davis rolls it into right center field for an opposite field single.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Another hit the other way. Good to see Henry pick up a couple. It's a little off the end of the bat. He's up there, as always, with no batting gloves, so he's tingling.
Gives the Pirates now 34 opposite field hits on the season to lead Major League Baseball. Everything but the infield hit by Griffin. Of the 7 hits, they've been opposite field hits, including, and the big one, O'Neal Cruz, who swings and misses. The first pitch here from the lefty, Wandy Peralta.
And boy, he got some good movement on that fastball, too. That thing just runs in to the lefty, away from the righty.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. 0-2 on O'Neal Cruz. He has 7 hits and 11 at-bats off left-handed pitching so far this season. The pitch, low. 7 for 11, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. He had 11 hits all of last year and 108 at-bats with 1 home run against Southpaws last season. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Chop foul to the first base dugout. Pirates have left-hander Gregory Soto loosening in their bullpen. 2-1 ball game. Pirates lead it as they bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning at PNC Park.
And Cruz shaking that top hand, tied up with that last foul ball.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So a scoreless bottom of the 7th for Wandy Peralta. Head to the 8th inning at PNC Park. 2-1 Buccos on the Pirates.
You know what happened in 2014.
A World
Series win for the San Francisco Giants.
Look at how clean that is. The gold, I don't know if you guys know what the gold means, but the gold means you are the World Series champions from the year before. But it's the honor of a lifetime, getting to win back-to-back World Series championships with 2 different teams.
You know, we like to stay on topic here, but squirrel.
What? Where?
Squirrel.
Where?
Oh, no.
How about that? That went right up into the batter's eye, into the camera position. How about that?
Whoa, that one will fall into the White Sox dugout.
Well, it looks like he's still aggravated about being traded away.
She's so excited she just threw it back. That was off the ledge, too. We can't get that down.
How do you get out, though? That's the problem. There's no exit.
Member FDIC. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association and used under license.
It is Gregory Soto on in relief for the Pirates here in the 8th inning. Pirates leading at 2-1.
What a good start to his Pirates career. Soto being called out of the bullpen for the 7th time, has a 1.42 ERA, just 2 hits allowed in 6 1/3.
Faces Jake Cronenworth, lefty batter. Cronenworth squares to get the bunt down. He does. Soto quickly on it, guns to first and gets him. Oh, what was the velo on that throw?
You know, he took a little time to wind up. It was almost like there was a pitching rubber over there at third base. And so he...
You're right. That's exactly what it looked like. Looked like he stepped on a pitching rubber up the third baseline and gunned it to first. Wow.
He threw that about 100 miles an hour. I'm thinking, wait a minute, get rid of it. Went through the whole windup.
Swing and a miss. Got to ask Spencer Horwitz tomorrow about that. One away. Laureano, 0-1 count. 0 for 2, 0 for 3 against the starter. Skenes, pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike the count on Laureano. On deck, Tatis. His pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Out of town scoreboard from AHN, official medical provider of the Pirates, caring for you through every win, every loss, and every moment in between. Mets were walk-off winners in 10 innings, 4-3 over the Diamondbacks. Ronnie Mauricio with a walk-off pinch hit single. There's a pop-up on the infield. And the second baseman, Gonzalez, will call off Horwitz, and he's fighting the conditions as that ball spins back towards second base, but makes the catch. 2 outs. By the way, it's 36 degrees at the moment. With the wind chill, it feels like 30. 2 away. Here's Tatis. He has struck out, grounded out, and singled. The Cubs lead the Rays down at the Trop. And Tampa St. Pete 6-0 in the 8th. Pete Crow Armstrong hit his first home run. Marlins have a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning over the Reds in Miami. Pitch to Tatis way inside. One ball, no strike pitch. Up and away to Tatis. 2 balls, no strikes. Tatis singled off of Skenes his last time up. The 2-0 fouled back. And they count 2 balls, 1 strike on Fernando Tatis. Strikeout, ground out, single to left. 2 for 2 in the past against Soto. The left-hander brings it home. Check swing, strike called, and it's 2-2. Tatis kind of shrugs his shoulders, looking back.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to challenge that. He thought about it, but watching the replay, it caught a piece of the outside corner.
The pitch.
Oh.
That's a called third strike on a sweeper.
That was nasty.
Soto gets Tatis. A 1-2-3 top of the eighth. It's still 2-1 Bucks on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City.
South side of Chicago, where are you at? This was the first time I got traded, but I was so excited to wear these pinstripes and be a South side of Chicago boy. This jersey right here is an all-star jersey. You can see on the back the all-stars and the all-star patch there. Being an all-star and being who I was called over there to be was something I was real proud of.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. The Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and driving a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the fifth inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that?
I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Pirates still lead by 1 run here. Adrian Barrejón, another lefty for San Diego, on in relief here in the 8th. 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Barrejón, 1-0, 3.86 ERA, just 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 punch-outs.
Brandon Lau, lefty batter at the plate for the Pirates, 0 for 3 against the starter Pavetta. Takes strike 1. Pavetta, 5 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, struck out 8. Got Lau twice. Lau will be followed by Reynolds and O'Hearn. The 0-1. There's a strike. And it's 0-2. Pirates get Dennis Santana loosening. The right-hander will face the lefty hitting Jackson Merrill to start the 9th. There's a swing and a miss and the strikeout. Lau goes down for a 3rd time. 1 up and 1 down. Here's Reynolds to turn around and bat right-handed against Barrejón. Peralta pitches a scoreless 7th. Wandy Peralta gives up a hit and a walk. And he strikes out 1. Reynolds struck out a couple times against Pavetta. Fouls this ball back. And he bounced out to the reliever, Bragley Rodriguez. 1 away, bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1. Pirates lead. They scored their 2 in the 5th. Xander Bogaerts homered off Skenes in the 7th. 0-1. Barrejón delivers. Inside corner for a strike at 100 miles an hour.
It's amazing the arms you see in these bullpens. He averages 99 with that fastball. Changeup at 92. Crazy.
0-2. Here's the pitch. Low. Changeup at 92. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And if you're sitting here watching this game live and you see, the 100, and then you see the changeup, and the 92 looks so slow.
Yeah, it does really.
Never,
you're right.
ever
You're
seen
shocked
a
to look up and
92 look so slow.
Yeah. Pitch is down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was again 92. Dodgers lead the Blue Jays 3-1. They blew them out last night. Out of town scores. They're in the 7th inning in Toronto.
The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a foul straight back.
For being the catcher, he gets so mad when he doesn't catch those foul tips.
Yes, he does.
There's like nothing you can do about it. It's going in the glove or it isn't. It's not like you can adjust.
It's just all luck, really, right?
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Sox lead the Brewers in the 7th inning at Boston, 3-2. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball right side and past the first baseman. Sheets might have glanced off his glove. And Reynolds is aboard.
Another ball hit the other way. 2-strike hit. Not sure they'll give him a hit or not. A play that you should make as a first baseman. Just pretty much an easy 2-hopper to his left. And yeah, I'm not sure he got a piece or not, but he just whiffed on it.
They will give him an error.
I thought he said hit.
Well, I saw an error on the scoreboard. That's why. Unless there's another one tonight. Here's the pitch. Strike on O'Hearn. I'm not taking off my headsets to hear. I can tell you that right now. These things are not going off. O'Hearn, 0-1 count. He has flied out, walked, and singled to left. The pitch. And he goes the other way with a base hit. Lined to left field. On an 0-1 pitch from the left-hander, it puts runners at first and second. Huh.
And going the other way against 99. That play, that pitch was almost off the plate inside. Inside.
My gosh.
And he's able to get the barrel to it the other way. That is some kind of pretty.
First and second with 1 out. Nick York, 1 for 3. Yeah, they did give Reynolds a hit. I don't know why that scoreboard had an error. There's a ball bounced past the pitcher. Shortstop drops it. Bogart's not able to handle the hot potato, loads the bases.
Now, typically a pretty good shortstop, but he got a little lazy on that. You know, it's not a double play ball. You know, he's probably just got one play, and that's at first base. And I think he had a little indecision on where to go. He didn't know if he was going to short or going to first. And because of that indecision, he put himself in a terrible position to even make a play. Terrible in-between hop. A nice little break here. Some good hitting by Reynolds, O'Hearn. The Pirates now at 9 hits, 8 of them the other way. And now a miscue on defense. And a chance to give Dennis Santana some insurance.
Bases loaded. The error that charged there to Bogarts is the second error of the game. I'm guessing there must have been an error on that play that allowed Cruz to go to third.
Yes, there was an error there. The throw that got away from the catcher on the throw home trying to get Connor Griffin.
Bases loaded, infield shortens up, and Nick Gonzalez could come up with a huge hit here for insurance. Reynolds at third, O'Hearn at second, York at first, and it's fouled off to the right, out of play.
Yeah, maybe just a little too far up. Nick Gonzalez, who could hit velocity, and with the theme going the other way, I just envision a fastball up and away getting hit into the right center gap.
The 0-1. The other way, fair ball, base hit inside the right field line. This is going to score 1. It's going to score 2. And the Pirates, the other way night, have done it again. Nick Gonzalez brings home Reynolds and O'Hearn. Pirates take a 4-1 lead in the 8th inning.
Yeah, it's something else. 99 once again. Fastball, middle of the plate. And Nick Gonzalez just blocks it just inside the bag. not fair by much, but how about the 4 RBIs tonight? 2 by Cruz, 2 by Gonzalez, both. Base hits the other way in between the corner infielder and the bag.
And Jake Mangum is going to pinch hit here for Horwitz. This will be interesting with 1 out. Pirates might try some trickery. And a meeting on the mound.
And got some decent speed over there at third base. And the old, I don't know why I want to call it the Joe Madden play. Him and all his disciples like to bunt in these situations.
I thought it was the Chuck Tanner play.
Well, I thought of Chuck Tanner, but it kind of went out of,
out of vogue for a while.
Kind of
went
out of vogue for a while, and then, with it was Madden or Martinez in D.C. And I've seen a lot of the guys that played under Madden just think it's a safe play, square a bunt, third baseman reads it, not a squeeze, but he's just reading the bunt and then takes off. Huge lead for York at third. Careful.
Pitch is taken outside, ball 1. Not much of one at first for Gonzalez, and the third baseman Machado not deep, but he's not in.
Yeah, and he's close enough to that bag where if he can make eye contact with his catcher, you can't take too much off of the bag at third.
Although I think they're leery about letting Fermin throw the ball anywhere. Here's the pitch to first, the throw to first, like a pitch, and barely off the bag. Gonzalez returns standing up. 1 ball, no strikes. You get the impression that Don Kelly wants to do something here. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and miss. Looks like he didn't want to, but he offered on that 99-mile-per-hour sinking fastball.
Yeah, and the key is if they do put on that safety squeeze. Mangum, when we've seen him bunt, he squares early. You don't want to square early in these situations.
There goes the runner from first, and it's hit the other way, of course. Opposite field, base hit for Mangum. Pirates take a 5-1 lead in the 8th inning. It's opposite night tonight.
It is something else, and not sure if it was actually a hit and run. It was something off speed to Mangum, but he looked like he was trying to go the other way with Gonzalez going. And that's a risky play, sending Gonzalez there with a lefty on the mound, because if the lefty throws over, you're making an out, most likely with the runner on third and 1 out. But rolling the dice and coming through, Jake Mangum.
First and third. Here's the pitch. Connor Griffin takes a strike. After the first batter, Lau struck out. Reynolds singled to right. O'Hearn singled the other way. York reached on an error on the shortstop. Gonzalez with a 2-run single the other way. Mangum singled the other way. The stretch. Throw to first, and Mangum is back standing.
You look at the Pirates, how quiet it was through 4 innings. Only the pop-up by Henry Davis that fell for a double, the only hit through 4. They've got 10 hits in these last 4.
There goes the runner from first. There will be no throw to second. Mangum into second, standing with a stolen base. The speedy Jake Mangum with his first steal as a Pirate.
Actually, watching the delivery by this left-handed pitcher, it is actually a pretty easy read to steal on.
The 1-1. Line drive, base hit into center field for Connor Griffin. It's a 2-run single for the kid. And the Pirates open up a 7-1 lead. Second hit of the night for Connor Griffin. Gonzalez and Mangum score. What a night. 7-1 Buccos.
Boy, it's good to see Connor Griffin. I mean, 4 really nice at-bats in this game tonight. Kind of struggling a little bit with the fastball, but right out of the gate, He's been swinging, being aggressive, and getting that bat head out front. Just an absolute bullet.
And now slow walk from the catcher Fermin to the mound, and the other infielders will join as they try and get that reliever loose as quickly as possible. With one out, the Pirates have now tacked on a dozen hits, 5 of them in this inning alone. And the home plate umpire, finally, Ryan Blakeney, starts walking to the mound and looks toward the Padre dugout. By the time he gets there and breaks up the conference.
And then, almost certainly, they're going to take him out.
Trying to get that righty loose in the bullpen.
Yeah, they're taking as much time as they can, and now
here comes Greg Stammen, the manager, his rookie year. He's just now reached the pitcher's mound, and we'll get the baseball from the lefty Morihone. Let's step aside right now for station identification here on the Pirates Radio.
Got to get yourself ready.
Yes, there are hugs, and then there's that.
Now, what is that? What is the purpose of that?
It's an anemometer. It measures wind speed.
So that's good.
But it looks like a fidget spinner.
Meanwhile, on the Cove, it just looks like too much fun.
It was so routine, he took his eye off.
You got to come up with this play. You got to. You're right there. You had 2 hands. He looked it in. Oh.
1-1 on the ground, deep short. Tovar, can he get it out? Of course he can. How great was that? You will not see better tonight, I guarantee you.
Might not see better for a couple weeks.
Oh, man. He's done it again against Oviedo. Second home run of the night against this right-hander. Have a night, Altuve on for the 5th time. 2 home runs and 4 runs scored.
It's kind of vintage right there from the big fella.
Lance with the best start of 2026. 7 innings of 1-run baseball and gets a huge ovation. The 2-1. Hit hard. Fair ball. Cal Raleigh walks it off against the Yankees.
And the big dumper comes through in the clutch.
Swing and a miss. Oh, Canada. An immaculate inning for Michael Soroka here to finish out the top of the 5th inning.
Berg 7. Adrian Morihone exits. He got 1 out, should have had 2, but the error on Bogarts. Henry Davis will face Marinaccio.
Marinaccio making his 5th appearance. 257 earned run average. He's allowed 4 hits in 7 innings. He's walked 1. He has struck out 6.
Three RBIs now on the young season for Connor Griffin. Ball popped up center field. Coming in, Merrill. He makes the catch. 3 ribbies in his career. A 2 RBI single moments ago. The 19-year-old Connor Griffin. 2-hit night for him. The Pirates, a dozen hits total. Here's O'Neill Cruz. He had the opposite field 2-run double in the 5th inning. It gave the Pirates, at the time, a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed.
Yeah, if it was a 4-1 game, I think we'd be watching for Griffin to get his first stolen base. But with a 6-run lead, I would guess that they would be shutting that down.
Strike called. 7 runs, a dozen hits for Pittsburgh. 1 run, 3 hits for San Diego. Bottom of the 8th inning. 9th man to bat is Cruz. 0-2 count. Marinaccio pitched last night, 2 scoreless. The next pitch is in the dirt. He did not. He did get Cruz, but it was a line drive to second base. Hit hard to Cronenworth. And Henry Davis was doubled off first. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The pitch, way inside. 2-2 on Cruz. Yohan Ramirez is now up for Pittsburgh. They will not use Dennis Santana. Save situation no longer exists. 2-2. The pitch. Drive to right field. And this is going to die on the track. Cruz and I thought it was gone. Cruz did a 360 spin, but with this cold weather, it just dies on the track, and it's caught by Tatis.
There's so much history right here, and when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run, and I become a fan for life.
2 strikes on Hunter. This ball hit deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. It's a 1-run game. Second deck for Hunter Goodman. His first of the year. That thing went 435 feet.
And you get the future Hall of Famer and for Hunter Goodman. Last year's Silver Slugger, the National League as a catcher. Just a rolling curveball. Hang it. Hunter Goodman's going to destroy it.
Get your tickets for Dollar Dog games at pirates.com/tickets.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yohan Ramirez trying to finish this one up here. 7-1, Pirates lead. Jackson Merrill at the plate, strike one. For every Pirate strikeout during the month of April, Coppers donates $25 to March of Dimes.
Ramirez's sixth appearance, 6 2/3 innings, 2.70 ERA, 7 punch-outs.
A swing and a miss.
Boy, that was a very, very late swing. Fastball at 96. Jackson Merrill, way late.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss.
Why mess around? As late as his swing was on those fastballs, just throw another one. And he wasn't trying to paint. He just went right at him.
Here is Manny Machado. So the Pirates tonight with 7 runs, a dozen hits. 10 of the 12 have been hit the other way. One up the middle, the 2-run single by Griffin. There's a swing and a miss. And the only one pulled was the infield hit by Connor Griffin in the 5th inning. You don't think that's going to be the topic of conversation down in that manager's office post-game. 0-1 pitch is a strike. And Matt Haig, the hitting coach, has to love it.
A challenge from Machado.
Might as well.
He's going to think it's down.
And it's a strike. They had one challenge left. None now. Not that it matters all that much in a 7-1 game. Pitch is taken for a ball. Jake Mangum had a stolen base at the bottom of the 8th inning. When the Pirates steal a base this season, you steal a deal at Valvoline Instant Oil Change for $25 off your next premium oil change. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change's way of reminding you it's good to steal if you're a Pirate, and a swing and a miss. It's good to strike out players if you're a Pirates pitcher.
Yeah, indeed. Johan Ramirez with that nasty stuff. He's got that big fastball that Merrill couldn't hit, and the big sweeper that Machado couldn't touch.
2 outs, 7-1 Pirates lead. Xander Bogaerts, the only blemish on the scorecard for Pirates pitchers was the home run he hit in the 7th inning off Paul Skenes, his first of the year. He takes ball 1, but Skenes 6 1/3. And 1 run on 2 hits. He'll go to 2-1. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Over 9,000 hearty souls.
Yeah.
Chanting, "Let's go Bucks."
Thanks for coming out.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll say.
something.
It is something else. I mean, it is not fit for man or beast tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Top foul, and it's 1-2. Chance to win the series tomorrow afternoon. Come out and lunch with the Bucks. 12:35. Mitch Keller will be on the mound. Pirates gonna try to win another series. Go to 7-4 on the year. 1-2. Ramirez. The pitch. A little bit low. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Bucks lead 7-1. The pitch. Ground ball, right side, coming in. Gonzalez on to first. Raise the Jolly Roger. Pirates win the ball game by the final score of 7-1. What an approach at the plate. Battled Pavetta. They scored in the 5th inning, the 2 spot. Horowitz going the other way with 1 out. Connor Griffin using his legs, the infield hit. O'Neill Cruz, the opposite field 2-run double, and then they busted open in the 8th.
You know, and we saw this on Sunday against the Orioles. Yeah, they had 10 hits that were either up the middle or the other way, and they topped that tonight. That we talk about hitting being contagious.
Yeah.
You know, the approaches, and it starts with Ryan O'Hearn and the way he's been hitting the ball, and the at-bats he had 2 hits the other way today. And again, there's a lot of room over there. And if they're not giving you anything to pull, take what you give them. And to have the whole lineup do that is really something else. And you love to see the rewards. You get the rewards, you're more likely to stick with that kind of an approach.
7-1 the Bucks have evened the series as they defeat the Friars on the Pirates Radio Network, presented by Iron City and Icy Light.